Hey agents, it's Manny. So given the Division 2 has been out for 2.5 years, Ubisoft's always putting it on sale. I think right now of September 8th, 2021, it's $24. That's for the base game, the new the WANI expansion, and the Season 1 pass. So with that, I always get a common question while I'm streaming, and it's like, should I pick up the Division 2? Is it still worth it? Obviously, this is from new players, and the simple answer is yes, you should. It is well worth it, especially when it's on sale for something like $24. So in this video, I'm going to cover the reasons new players should pick up the game and why I still enjoy playing the Division 2 after 2.5 years. Before we start, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and ding that notification bell so you know when there's new videos. And if you're looking for someone to game with, you can find me and other players in the Militia Discord server. The link is in the description below. All right, so I already told you, well worth buying, especially it's like $24, $30, $50. It's well worth it. If you have to pay $60 for all of it for the base game expansion, and you get the Season 1 pass with it, well worth it. And I'll go over why in a minute. Real quick, if you're not familiar with Division story, Division 1, essentially they had this thing called the dollar flu. The flu, very much like COVID, unfortunately. A flu was spread on Black Friday, which is day after Thanksgiving in the US, and it was spread from a dollar bill. Basically, pandemic, people started dying, and the Division was activated, where special agents that go in and help out when things like this hit, when it hits the fan, right? So that's the basic gist of it. Division 2 is we're going into DC to help them out, all right? What do you actually get to do in the Division? All right, so let's look at, there's two maps. There's the DC map, which we're in right here, and there's actually with the Warlords of New York, they've actually added in a New York map with 4 boroughs, all right? So let's go back to the DC map. Now, if we look at the DC map, in DC we have 17 missions. That's these right here. You got Bank Headquarters, you got Camp White Oaks, you got Grand Washington, 17 missions. You're gonna go through the story. You have to go through each mission once at least on story mode, which is the easiest difficulty. Now, you also then have 5 missions in New York, same deal. Then you have 5 strongholds in DC, which are slightly longer missions. With the Season 1 pass, you actually get 8 classified missions. That's these blues. These are really fun because I find that I play through them once. I don't really want to play them again, but there's puzzles inside them. They have a thing called a backpack trophy, something you get to hang off of your, it's just apparel. You get to hang it off your backpack. And each one has a puzzle to go in and figure the puzzle out to earn that backpack trophy. You have to go do certain things and figure out how to get in the area where the backpack trophy is. It's kind of neat. Now, you can either figure it out on your own, or you can go look on a YouTube video. I have a bunch on my channel as well, if you're having trouble finding them. So things like that, that takes a while to do. Each one is a couple hours if you're trying to find the backpack trophy and figure it all out. You know, you might figure it real quick, then again, it might take longer. Then there's actually Kenley College up here. Once again, I've done it once or twice. I don't really go there that much, but it's still fun to do. There's actually 3 missions up there. You earn an exotic shotgun rifle at the end of it. You also have the summit, which is 100 floors, 1 through 100, with increasing difficulties. You can actually change the difficulties on that. You can also change directives, which also increase difficulties, such as like hard to earn ammo, pistolero, which is you only start with a pistol and you have to kill people with your pistol to earn ammo for your other weapons, things like that. There are also 2 raids. There's Dark Hours down here at the Washington Airport, and then there's Operation Iron Horse up in the United Ironworks section. There are 3 DZs in the in the DC area. DZ West, South, and East. These are your PvP areas. They're not that much fun. PvP Division is a PvE game. They added PvP to it. It's not much fun. If you enjoy PvP, go play a PvP based game. The Division also has Conflict, which is an arena PvP, and you can actually just go to the conflict person. Actually, you could do it right from the map. In here, you can click on Conflict up here and do quick play. I'm only like level 3. I don't enjoy it that much. It might be fun if you have a group that you want to play with all the time. And on top of all that, there are open world activities, such as you can see control points here. You have elite patrols here. These are just activities you do to earn equipment and experience and stuff like that. You have resource convoys. So that's basically like all the different stuff you have to do. And every so often you have a season going on, right? And so the season right now just started. I'm only level 1, and in the season you'll have manhunts. And in the manhunts, you actually hunt down certain people. So the end one is Fei Lao. I'm kind of ruining some of the story for you, but she's the one we're going to hunt down, and we get a new skill reward with that, right? You I think it's every 2 or 3 weeks, I can't remember the exact number, a new target is opened up. So right now it's Viper, then Kestrel, then Magnus, then Cersei, and then onto Fei Lao. So there's manhunts going on. The season pass also has rewards as well. There's the free track on top and the paid for track on the bottom. I've already done the paid for track, so I get that as I go, but you can pay for it and buy it. But I already have paid for that season because it was 4 seasons. They're just repeating the seasons now that they're not adding any new content to the game, but you still get a lot of stuff to earn, including exotic caches and exotic holsters for the waveform for this season. And with the season, every week or so they release a new thing, such as the Viper League. The leagues are basically, there's like time trials in there where you have to finish a mission in a certain amount of times to make a certain stage up to stage 10. There's more involved in that, but that's another aspect of this. Is actually the time trials are one of my favorite things, trying to beat certain missions at certain difficulties in a certain amount of time. Then they have global events, which is something you activate. And for example, Golden Bullet, you have there's a golden gun out there. You kill someone, you get the golden gun, and then your bullets do a lot more damage. I don't remember the exact stuff. Then they introduce a new target, so 2 weeks later. Then there's another league, another global event, another target, another league, another global event, another target, another league, another global event, and then the season ends. So there's lots of stuff like that going on as well to earn. You earn name caches and things like that during the leagues. Now, at its heart, Division is a cover and conceal game. There's multiple ways you can play it. You can run and gun, or you can do what I'm doing right now, just kind of go into cover right now, pop out, shoot, reload, go into cover, look around for enemies, pop up and shoot. So that's the basic game style play, one basic game style play of the Division 2. The other one is actually using cover, like not being in cover, but behind cover so the enemies can't hit you, things like that. Along with the cover and concealment part of the game, it also is at heart a looter shooter, right? So I love the loot aspect of this game. They have changed it and dumbed down a lot of the loot and stuff like that, but let's go over it real quickly. You have a specialization once you hit level 30. There's 6 of them that you actually have to unlock 3 of them. If you have the season pass, you will have those 3 unlocked automatically, but they actually have different objectives to complete, which are fun to do anyway, and give you other things like blueprints and things like that. So that's more stuff to do as well. Then as far as the loot goes, you have 2 primary and a secondary weapon. They range from assault rifles, which are single shot, marksman rifles for long range, SMGs, LMGs, shotguns, and things like that. Then you also have a pistol. There are certain pistol builds. There's exotics, which are the reds, yellows, purples, blues, greens, and grays for the uncommon. You then have 6 gear slots. You have your mask, you have your chest, you have your holster, a backpack, gloves, and knees. Then you can also equip 2 skills. There are a total of 11 skills, and each skill can have multiple variants. For example, the sticky bomb has a sticky burn, an EMP, and an explosive. The trap has repair, shock, and shrapnel. Then your decoy actually has only 1 variant for the decoy. Pulse has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one only being unlocked when you are a gunner specialization, which I am not right now. So there's a bunch of different skills you can actually equip as well. You can equip 2 of them at a time. You do have multiple types of grenades. Certain grenades are only usable. Everyone gets a concussion grenade, but certain grenades are only usable when you're a certain specialization. So there's all that. It works out really well. There are meta builds that if you're going to be running the raid, for example, you kind of want to have a high DPS weapon build, like a high-end build or something like that. But overall, if you're going to solo play this game or just match make and play whatever, you can actually kind of custom build your own build to suit your game style play. It's a lot of fun. So that's the loot aspect of it. In here, you actually have different attributes in your loot. There's name pieces, which actually have different attributes themselves. For example, Douglas Harding has pistol damage, 20% pistol damage, stability, accuracy. And then if we look down here, you have Providence Defense with headshot, crit hit chance, crit hit damage. Then you also have core attributes on pieces, and then secondary attributes you get 2, and then you can have mod slots on some of the gear pieces, such as the mask, backpack, and chest. There's lots of randomizations that you can do. Like I said, there are meta builds. There's probably 3 or 4 meta builds that are the best in the class. You can look those up on YouTube. I have some of them on my website as well, on my YouTube channel as well. But you can play it how you want to play it. This is your game. So now that I've covered basics of the different types of missions you can do, the loot, cover and conceal types, the basic gameplay of the Division 2, there's other things you can do too. Collect all the exotics. As you can see in this wall here are all the DC exotics. I have them collected. And also there are other things, activities to do as well. There are a bunch of hunters. Hunters are very difficult bosses that you can fight. You have to spawn them in, and they have special masks. You can see here I have collected all the New York hunter all the DC hunter masks. If you go to New York settlement in Haven, they have a very similar thing. I want to say it's in the clan area. They have hunter masks and exotics, all the exotics for New York. These can be unlocked. The hunters are basically unlocked by doing certain events and things in the game. You can figure it out on your own, or you can look them up online to figure out how to do it. So it's kind of cool. That's a collecting aspect of the game. There is also progression-based stuff such as commendations. These are essentially achievements. I've been working on them recently, finishing up a few that I don't have yet. There's 229. I have 212. So I got a few left to do. There are also collectibles. You can go around and actually try to be a completionist and complete all the collectibles as well. It's kind of fun. You run around and find these and get everything you need. Now, the other thing I want to mention is, so you've played all the missions and you beat all the missions. The missions actually have different levels and difficulties. You have story, normal, hard, challenging, and heroic. The strongholds, well, not all of them, but most of 3 of them. So you have DUA, Capitol Hill, and Roosevelt have a level called legendary. This is extremely difficult and the highest level content you can do. So typically it takes a group of 4 agents to do it. You can do it in 2, you can do 3. I took the challenge of doing it solo, and I have videos of that, of me soloing it on my YouTube page. And that's the things I like to do, is try to challenge myself and solo difficult content. Now, but everything is soloable with the exception of 2 things. And well, technically 1, the raid. There's 2 raids, so neither one is really soloable. There are guys out there who have soloed them. There's videos. It's kind of difficult. You really have to you have to have specific builds. You have to know the play style and how to do that as well in order to solo them. Dark Hours is not soloable on normal, simply because there are certain mechanics that you actually you need someone else to help you with. Operation Iron Horse, the least amount we've done on there's actually 2 different difficulties. There's Discovery, which is matchmaking, and it's kind of dumbed down, and then there's normal. I've seen someone actually solo the first boss, and that's it. Very specific build, and it's actually very luck involved by getting crit chance. You have to actually crit on a headshot thing. I don't want to go too much details, but the first boss can be soloed. That's about it on there. Discovery, I've seen someone solo the whole thing. I've 2-manned it with a friend. We've also 4-manned the normal difficulty. So you don't have to do a full 8-man group, but everyone has to be pretty good at what they do. But everything else is soloable, because I have soloed it myself. All right, so one of the last things I want to talk about is hardcore. Now, hardcore is technically still in beta, but what it is basically you die, there's no respawn. So there's things like revive hives and things like that you can use. So if your character goes down, just like in a lot of BRs, you go down, you can be revived. But if you go down and someone thirsts you or whatever else, you go double down, you're out, you're dead. You have to start it all over from level 1 again. So I'm actually currently working on that because there are some accommodations for it. I've got most of them except for doing the raid on hardcore, which is, to me, is a very difficult one, because it's like most of the hardcore stuff, you can solo it. But for the raid, you need a group of 8 people that really know what they're doing and really paying attention, because it's really tough to do and easy for everyone to wipe. And then you start from scratch. So that's hardcore. And the last thing I want to say is player base. Yes, it is a little low. Unfortunately, the Division does not have crossplay. They talked originally that they were going to do crossplay. They do not have crossplay. So you have 3 different communities. You have PlayStation, you have Xbox, and you have PC. Now, Xbox One and the new Xbox can play together. PS4 and PS5 can play together. And PC obviously all plays together. So I'd say this, I don't know how the console Player bases, PC player base isn't too bad. It's easy enough to find people. Of course, if you're looking for people to play with, you can always hit me up over in the Militia Discord server. There's a bunch of us over there playing all the time still. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button below and leave a comment if you have questions about anything I covered. I'm going to do my best to answer it. If you'd like to see more content like this, then please smash that subscribe button. You can also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Maniocrity, where I stream Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evening starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'd be happy to answer any questions live on stream. Until next time, agents, happy hunting.